well, there comes a point when you just have to live with it.
Who are you? Yero, this is about his death, isn't it? The rampage. Of course, who hasn't? Yero was one of us, after all. It is terrible. Simply terrible. You want to hear an old man's opinion, though? I always expected that something like this would happen. Malthus, forgive me for talking about a keeper like that, but it's the truth. Hard to explain, really. Come on, let's find somewhere to sit. It'll be easier to talk that way. Well, Yero. That's quite a subject, you know. You were right when you said we were best friends. Our fathers knew each other. For as long as I can remember, Yero and I were getting into trouble together. At least, until his mother died. No. Bandits killed her in broad daylight on Penny Road. Today these incidents are common, but not back then. The road was considered safe, very safe. She was on her way to Ark, accompanied by 3 other women, and they were set upon at the pass. None of them survived. Yero was shattered. I think the worst part was how his father went downhill after his wife's death. The fishery decayed, and the poor guy filled his days with boozing and sleeping. It changed Yero forever. Well, that's a good question. On the one hand, he became a man, despite his tender age. On the other hand, something inside him woke up, so to speak. A desire to make more of his life. Old Mother Jenica noticed it and took him under her wing. He learned how to read and write, and soon he knew all the holy verses by heart. When he didn't have to help his drunken father, he helped in the village as much as he could. Indeed, that's one way to look at it. It wasn't long before he was the jewel of the village, the striving young fisherman destined for great things, even though he was only on the path of a manufacturer. And then the inevitable happened. A keeper of the order came to Riverville to see the prodigy with his own eyes. And behold, in addition to Yero's ingenuity, he also had a slumbering magical talent. The keeper took him away, and a few months later, he started his novitiate. Since then, I've only seen him once or twice, as he rarely visited Riverville. I don't think he ever noticed how much that hurt me. If one of the manufacturers makes it to Sergeant of the Guard, it's reason enough for a bard song. He must have been the first novice in centuries who was not of the sublime path. So yes, it is uncommon. More than that. Oh, it's hard to explain. I believe it was the way he was talking about his grand plans. How he wanted to make the world a better place, to become the greatest keeper since Lorem Waterblade. Underneath all this, there was an anger. An anger mixed with deep grief and disappointment. I don't think he was aware of it because he drew all his strength from that anger. The strength to do all this, to learn and to work day and night, but it frightened me, like the Blue Death. It slumbers inside the pathless mage who believes he can master magic without the Order's help. At first, it grants power, but then, one day, it bursts out in an unholy wave of destruction, turning him into one of the monsters in the old songs. Anyway, I'm just an old man. What do I know about these matters? Now let me go to sleep. All these memories are making me weary. Yes, of course.
What? That's all you got? No!
Well, if it isn't my new friend. Any luck? Well, that's interesting. Good work. That only leaves the mysterious object in the water. I'll have a closer look around here in the meantime. I did, yeah. Some kind of closed-off room down the hallway here. Just give me some time to figure out how to get it open. Interesting. I didn't know about his companion's fate, to be honest. Irony of fate, isn't it? Murdered by those you wanted to help. But the Order will definitely be interested in these letters. Well done. That should be all we need then. Splendid. I did, and now I finally know what to make of it. Come, follow me. I present a Star People's lock, and I bet my buttocks we'll find another answer behind that door over there. Doesn't surprise me. This kind of lock is usually only found in treasuries or castles, but they can be picked, though that's going to be quite the challenge without the bolts. Normally, yeah. It's quite simple, actually. Every keyhole has a matching bolt that latches into place once you insert it. And once all the keyholes, 5 in our case, are latched, the door the lock protects opens up. If you don't have the matching bolts, however, you should prepare yourself for the most frustrating break-in of your life. That is, if you don't happen to be Jaspar. Who knows a little trick? You can use wooden sticks instead of bolts. They'll break a couple of seconds after you put them inside the lock, but if you manage to get all 5 sticks into place before the first one breaks, you can basically trick the mechanism. It's all about speed, in other words. So I'd say you do the running, and I'll wait near the pressure plate. You ready? You're right, sorry. All you have to do is insert one stick into each of the 5 keyholes as fast as possible. Once you've done that, I'll push the pressure plate, which will open the door. If you're too slow, we'll just have to try again. Splendid. Here are the sticks. All right, go! Damn, that was too slow. We'll try it again. Huh? Treasure hunter. That has a nice ring to it. But let's just say I help people to fulfill certain materialistic desires of theirs. Just like the Holy Warden who brings back the lost shoe to the maiden. Only the maiden pays me to do it. And I have a more flexible conscience, so to speak. Maybe, maybe not. But let's save the socializing for later, okay? Usually I am always in for a good talk, but for now let's focus on the mission. Keep your chin up. Brilliant! We're really good at this. Now let's take a look and see what the old Magister didn't want anyone to see, shall we? Oh, a fire elemental. Not a weak one. This Yero knew about magic, that's for sure. That leaves us with the question of what exactly this is supposed to be. I suppose that's his companion. Though it's interesting that he was already on the wrong side of the law way before his rampage. Well, burials are considered heathen here in Enderal, and have been forbidden for about 300 years now. Here, corpses are always cremated. The whole thing's called the Last Journey. The deceased is taken to a place he or she considered special during his or her life, immediately after dying. That's the only way the soul can move on to the eternal paths. Sounds very poetic, but I'm pretty sure the only reason the Order introduced the law was to prevent plagues. Plus, they might have noticed that too many lost ones running around on trade routes aren't that much fun for wanderers and traveling merchants. Yeah, but of course that only goes for the little man. The rich and powerful still tend to their family crypts, and there are still plenty of old vaults around from the time before this whole Last Journey thing was begun. And it's good that way. What would life as a treasure hunter be like without the notorious noble looking for family jewels in a century-old grave? Let's take a look around and see if we find anything.
Beloved Sira, this is my last letter. In it, I ask for forgiveness, for it was I who murdered you. No, of course, it wasn't me who held the knife, but it was me who infected you with my fallacy. The fallacy that the world wants to be saved. It doesn't. Yes, Sira, there's still a part of me who refuses to believe these words, even as I write them. But just one look is enough to prove me a fool. We have so much, yet we are never content. We could make peace, yet we choose war. We embrace hatred over love. And no, Sira, there is no hope, no silver lining, no matter how much we try to tell ourselves the opposite. Mankind is at its end. It has been since some mad god created it for his amusement. A Quranian philosopher once said that there comes a time in our lives when we make a choice to live virtuously yet in austerity, or ignobly yet in pleasure. The philosopher called this second choice choosing the void, because this is what lurks behind its pretty face. Do you see it now, Sira? The bitter truth? They all chose the void, all but us. We who dreamed of something bigger. We who were willing to make a sacrifice for the greater good. Just imagine what we could have done if we hadn't been alone. But we were alone from the very beginning. And no, Sira, these words do not come easy. You of all people should know that. I wanted to believe there was hope. I wanted to believe that all one has to do is remain strong, but look where our idealism brought us. Here I am, in front of your dead body, murdered by those you wanted to help. We should have fled to a faraway isle to grow old together, but we didn't. And why? Because I corrupted you with my delusions. I, too, will go, Sira. I don't think there is life after death, and I do not care. But before I make my exit, I will give this world what it deserves. Do you remember? They all chose the void. They shall have it.
What's that? Let me see. Uh-huh. A tragic ending for a tragic personality, I'd say. Well, I think that should suffice. Well, what should I think about it? Yero was a self-righteous fool, just like all these do-gooders are. They celebrate themselves as great messiahs as long as everything goes well, but once they fail, it's the bad, bad world that's responsible for it. The wise hermit has a good saying for that. People are only idealists until it starts to hurt. He and his lady should have simply stayed in Riverville. I think that if we all just spent less time thinking about other people's problems, whores would have fuller purses, breweries emptier barrels, and tyrants fewer minions willing to cut their throats open for the one true God or the one true nation. Yeah, we are. Here, I've got 2 teleport scrolls that can take us right back to Riverville. Just meet me in the tavern once you're ready to go. I have some stuff to take care of, so there's no need to hurry. Farewell.
Thanks again! I couldn't have done it without you.
It's always the same with these novices. Walk blessed, my child. How may I help you? Haha, what it is? Now that's quite the question you're asking there. But fine, why not? The path is two things. For one, it is the name of holy writing that encompasses both the revelation of the Lightborn after the fall of the Eterna King Azataron and the journey of the first vassals to Enderal, who founded this country under Malphas's guidance. It also tells us the virtue of the path, the ideals by which every Enderalayan should live, which is the only way to salvation. Secondly, it is the holy calling of each Enderalayan citizen. Yes. Now don't tell me you've never heard of that before. It is recounted the same way in the entire civilized world. It was the Lightborn who saved this world from the chaos it fell into after Azataron's death. Yes. Only a people united in flesh and spirit shall prevail throughout the ages. Verse 39. There's the path of the manufacturers, whose hard work provides for the iron and food of our people. Then there's the path of the erudites, who follow professions that require higher knowledge, such as scribery and alchemy. And then there are the sublime, who were born to lead our country. Within one's path, a person is free to choose, but to cross those borders is almost always blasphemy. There are exceptions in which a soul's destiny unveils only later in its life. For example, there was Laura Mortarblade, who was born to the manufacturer's path, but who became one of the most fabled keepers of Enderal. But they are what they are, exceptions. Yes, Enderal was, other than countries such as Nerim, Kira, or wherever you come from, an uncharted land. It was Malphas himself who showed a young couple, Selna and Keteron, and their followers the way to Enderal. But it would take far too long to recite that entire tale, and I doubt you have that much time. If you are interested in their journey, I suggest you read The Path. It is good for the soul anyway, even for an outlander.
Huh? What do you want? Huh? What do you want?
Oh, hello there. I assume you were talking about Countess Delvano's new hairstyle.
War on Nerum. War on Kile. Red madness. The fuck is wrong with this world?
We just got a new delivery of eggs.